Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today we are traveling to the remote, verdant forests of Oahu, Hawaii, to witness a silent drama that rivals the grisliest scenes of a horror film. Deep within the shadows of the Waianae mountain range, a creature inches along the silken threads of a spider's web. It is not a spider, nor is it a hapless fly awaiting its doom. It is a caterpillar. By all biological conventions, this soft-bodied larva should be a vegetarian snack for the arachnid landlord. Yet this caterpillar moves with impunity, invisible to the predator stalking just inches away. It survives not by speed, nor by venom, but by wearing a coat made of death. We are talking about the bone collector, a newly discovered species of the genus Hyposmacoma that has stunned the scientific community with its macabre genius. Unlike its leaf-munching cousins, the bone collector is a carnivore, a scavenger and a master of disguise, who crafts a suit of armor from the severed heads, wings, and legs of its prey. In this episode, we will explore the fascinating, grotesque, and evolutionary brilliance of the bone collector caterpillar. We will journey into the isolated evolutionary laboratory of the Hawaiian archipelago, uncover the secrets of this serial killer of the insect world, and compare its gruesome fashion sense with other armored oddities of nature, such as the mad caterpillar of Australia. Prepare to enter a world where the line between predator and prey is blurred by a shield of stolen skeletons. Let us begin with the discovery of this monster and its unlikely habitat. For decades, entomologists have trekked through the precipitous ridges of Hawaii, documenting the island's rich biodiversity. The genus Hyposmacoma, known as fancy case caterpillars, was already famous for its architectural diversity. Some species within this genus build cases that look like cigars. Others craft structures resembling burritos, oyster shells, or even candy wrappers. They are widely considered the master builders of the Lepidoptera world. But one species, hiding in plain sight, defied all expectations. Dr. Daniel Rubinoff and his team from the University of Hawaii at Manoa stumbled upon the bone collector in an environment that should have been lethal: the active webs of large, predatory spiders. In the animal kingdom, a caterpillar wandering into a spider web is usually a short story with a tragic ending. Spiders are efficient killers, sensitive to the slightest vibration, and capable of wrapping a victim in silk in seconds. Yet, here was a caterpillar, casually grazing on the detritus caught in the web. It was not just surviving, it was thriving. The secret to its survival lies in its case. Most Hyposmacoma species build their portable homes out of silk and surrounding organic matter, like bits of lichen, bark, or sand, to blend into rocks or tree trunks. The bone collector, however, has a more specific and gruesome palate. It builds its case exclusively from the dismembered remains of insects. When the caterpillar finds a dead ant, a hollowed-out beetle, or a discarded fly wing in the spider's trash heap, it does not just eat the leftovers. It meticulously cleans the hard, chitinous parts, the exoskeletons, and weaves them into its silk shell. Imagine an ant head, mandibles still gaping, cemented to the front of the case like a helmet. Picture beetle elytra, or wing covers, tiled along the flanks like shingles on a roof. Leg segments and millipede rings are added to break up the silhouette. The result is a walking collage of corpses. To the human eye, it looks like a pile of unappetizing trash. To a spider, whose vision is often poor and based on movement and shape, the bone collector is invisible. It looks exactly like the bundles of sucked dry insect husks that litter the corners of every web. By masquerading as the spider's own garbage, the caterpillar becomes a wolf in sheep's clothing, if the sheep were made of skeletons. Now, let us analyze the biology of this carnivorous anomaly. To understand how strange the bone collector is, we must look at the order Lepidoptera, which includes moths and butterflies, as a whole. There are roughly 180,000 to 200,000 described species of Lepidoptera on Earth. The vast majority, over 99%, are strictly herbivorous. They co-evolved with plants, developing complex ways to digest cellulose and detoxify plant chemicals. Carnivory in caterpillars is incredibly rare. It usually only arises in extreme isolation, where resources are scarce or competition is low. Hawaii, the most isolated island chain in the world, is the perfect crucible for such evolutionary experiments. The bone collector is not just a scavenger. It is an active predator when necessary, though it prefers the lazy route of theft. It is known as a kleptoparasite, an animal that steals food from another. It waits for the spider to catch prey, or finds insects that have died of exhaustion in the web. If a trapped insect is small or weak enough, the caterpillar may finish it off. It then feasts on the soft internal tissues, leaving the hard exoskeleton behind to be added to its collection. The construction process itself is highly calculated, not random. In laboratory settings, when presented with various materials such as twigs, sand, leaves, and insect parts, the bone collector ignores the plant matter entirely. It shows a distinct preference for arthropod remains. Observations suggest a high degree of craftsmanship. First is selection. The caterpillar inspects a potential piece of armor with its mouthparts. Second is sizing. If a leg or wing is too large, The caterpillar will chew it down to fit the specific gap in its case. Third is attachment. Using silk spun from its spinnerets, it anchors the piece onto the existing tube. The silk of Hyposmacoma is incredibly strong, capable of holding these heavy adornments securely as the caterpillar drags its home across vertical surfaces. Finally, there is molting. As the caterpillar grows, it must expand its case. It does not shed the old case. Instead, it widens the opening and adds more material. A large, mature bone collector effectively wears a history of its dietary conquests on its back. This brings us to the question of why. Why does this monster exist only in Hawaii? The answer lies in the concept of adaptive radiation. When ancestors of the Hyposmacoma moss arrived in Hawaii millions of years ago, likely carried by wind, they found a paradise with few competitors. There were no ants, as ants are recent invaders to Hawaii, few parasitic wasps, and plenty of open ecological niches. Without the pressure of mainland predators and competitors, the moths exploded into hundreds of different species, each adapting to a specific lifestyle. Some became aquatic, and yes, amphibious caterpillars exist in this genus. Some became root borers. Others, like the bone collector, turned to meat. The bone collector lineage is estimated to be around 6 million years old. This implies that these caterpillars were wearing insect skulls long before the island of Oahu even finished forming. They likely hopped from older, now eroded islands to the younger ones, carrying their bizarre traditions with them. This evolutionary path led to a fascinating arms race between the spider and the caterpillar. Living in a spider web is a high-risk, high-reward strategy. The reward is protection. Birds and larger insects generally avoid spider webs to keep from getting sticky or bitten. By living inside the danger zone, the bone collector creates a fortress within a fortress. It also has a constant supply of food delivered by the spider. The risk, of course, is the spider itself. This dynamic has driven the evolution of the trash camouflage. If the caterpillar looked like a juicy worm, it would be eaten instantly. By looking and smelling like old, dry exoskeletons, which spiders ignore after they have fed, the caterpillar exploits a blind spot in the spider's behavior. It is a masquerade of the highest order. To fully appreciate the bone collector's uniqueness, it helps to compare it to a rival in the world of bizarre headgear, the Uraba lugans, also known as the Mad Caterpillar of Australia and New Zealand. While the bone collector uses the remains of others, the Mad Caterpillar grows its own hat. The Mad Caterpillar is the larva of the gumleaf skeletonizer moth. Caterpillars have a hard head capsule that must be shed every time they molt, or shed their skin to grow larger. Most caterpillars flick this old head capsule away. The Mad Caterpillar keeps it. The old, empty head capsule stays attached to the new, larger head capsule emerging underneath. Over time, as the caterpillar goes through 4 to 5 molts, it accumulates a towering stack of empty heads, each smaller than the last, balancing like a precarious totem pole. The function differs significantly between the two species. The bone collector's armor is primarily for crypsis, or camouflage. It wants to vanish. The Mad Caterpillar's head stack is a distraction and a weapon. When a predator, such as a stink bug or a parasitic wasp, attacks, the Mad Caterpillar thrashes its head back and forth. The stack of dried heads acts like a club or a false target. Predators often target the head of a caterpillar to deliver a killing bite. The tall stack of empty heads confuses the attacker. A wasp might inject its eggs into the empty shell, or a stink bug might stab the hollow chitin, allowing the caterpillar to escape unharmed. While the Mad Caterpillar is a collector of self, the bone collector is a collector of victims. Both strategies highlight the intense pressure on caterpillars to find any way to survive a world that wants to eat them. The bone collector is the most specialized, but it is not alone in the practice of using debris for defense. The insect world is full of trash carriers, though few are as gruesome. For example, green lacewing larvae, often called trash bugs, are voracious predators. After sucking an aphid dry, they toss the shriveled husk onto their back. Over time, they build a massive ball of gray fluff and aphid skins. This serves two purposes: physical armor against ants and olfactory camouflage. By smelling like the aphids they eat, they can walk into an ant-guarded aphid colony and slaughter the livestock, without the ants realizing an intruder is present. Then there are the assassin bugs, specifically Acanthaspis petax from East Africa. This bug specializes in hunting ants. After killing an ant and draining its fluids, it glues the corpse to its back using sticky secretions. A pile of dead ants on its back confuses visual predators like jumping spiders. The spider sees a cluster of ants, which are dangerous and usually avoided, rather than a tasty bug. We also have bagworms, the most common case bearers. Bagworms build log cabins out of twigs or sleeping bags out of leaves. However, they are strictly herbivores and use vegetation for camouflage against birds, not to hide in spider webs. The bone collector stands out among these because of its specific choice of prey parts and its incredibly dangerous habitat. It isn't just hiding from birds, it is hiding from the very monster whose home it has invaded. Despite its terrifying habits and evolutionary success, the bone collector faces a fragile future. It is currently found only in a small, 15 square kilometer patch of forest in the Hawaiian Mountains of Oahu. This makes it extremely susceptible to extinction. Hawaii is under siege by invasive ants, like the big-headed ant, and predatory wasps that did not evolve with these native moths. These invaders may not be fooled by the trash disguise, or may aggressively patrol trees in ways native spiders do not. Furthermore, habitat loss poses a significant threat. The native forests of Hawaii are shrinking, replaced by non-native vegetation that may not support the specific microhabitats and specific spiders the bone collector relies on. The scientific importance of this creature cannot be overstated. The discovery of the bone collector is a reminder of how much we still do not know about the natural world. In an age where we map the genome and explore Mars, we are still finding creatures with behaviors that seem impossible. This caterpillar challenges our understanding of cognition in insects. The ability to select, size, and fit specific armor pieces suggests a complex sensory and behavioral loop. It also highlights the intricate nature of coevolution. The delicate dance between the spider and the caterpillar is a masterpiece of evolutionary biology. How did the first ancestor survive long enough to pass on the gene that dictates masquerading as trash? In conclusion, the bone collector is a paradox. To us, it is a nightmare concept, a creature that wears the faces of its victims. But in the context of evolution, it is a thing of beauty. It represents the ultimate triumph of survival. In the dark corners of the Hawaiian forest, a small, soft larva has looked at the deadliest predator in its world and found a way to say, "I am not here." It has turned the remnants of death into a cradle of life. So the next time you see a cobweb in the corner of your ceiling, look closely at the little bundle of debris caught in the silk. It might just be a fly husk. Or, if you are very lucky, and in Hawaii, it might be the bone collector, peering out from behind a mask of stolen eyes, watching the world from the safety of its grisly armor. Thank you for listening to G Fun Facts Online.